Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the eISL powered by Coca-Cola with Nordman Gaming as our esports partner, Hero as our associate sponsor, and PlayStation as our platform partner. Now, my name is CA, and joining me is the one and only Azim. So, Azim, let's get it started. How are you?
Very good. Still was a pretty exciting day yesterday of eISL action, and yeah, we're getting to see the pretenders to the crown FC Goa coming back in again. And but of course, let's for people who are joining, just joining the eISL, let's quickly take you through the tournament format. This is of course the league stage going on right now, which will go on for just under 4 months. All the teams playing each other twice. The games are 2 individual matches and 1 co-op match defines one overall match. We have the finals 19 to 21st, and then the winning team will turn against each other and battle it out to see who can represent India in the FIFA Global Series 2022. But there's a lot more at stake as well.
Yeah, exactly, right. Besides that coveted spot, you've got 78 lakh in that prize pool that we'll get a glance at real quick. So I think more than the size of the prize pool itself, it's the fact that hey, you got those 4 places getting paid off, but then you've got that single MVP prize too that's gonna go to that one person. It's a really nice pocket of change to get from a single person.
Yeah, at the current rate, you can buy almost 800 PlayStation 5s with that. They're going on pre-order very soon, or have gone on pre-order. Then you'll order them, so you can. It's a bit too early for them to place their pre-orders right now. Would be a bit presumptuous. But let's take a quick look at the scoreboard so far.
So, if I'm not mistaken, my friend actually tried to buy them yesterday, and he claimed that it sold out in 32 seconds.
Well,
So,
there you go. Obviously, much more than 32 seconds or 32 matches have been played so far, and we've got FC Goa sitting in third, going up against, of course, Hyderabad FC. 3 games played, 1 win, 2 losses. They did lose last time out to Bengaluru FC, who have found a bit of form, winning 2 back-to-back after losing 2 back-to-back. So going to be interesting to see what happens. I have actually got to see a glimpse very early on of FC Goa playing against, I believe it was Hyderabad. So we've got to see a little glimpse of these guys going up against each other. First game up, we do have Adizima versus Afnan. We do have then DK versus V Sharma, and of course the co-op game. Interesting to note, it's probably Adizima, the senior player, going up against the so-called, so to speak, number 2 of FC Goa. And as the pattern has been, V Sharma taking it upon himself to play that pressure second game in case Afnan cannot get the result up top. Afnan, of course, I mean, he's had a rough start, but he's slowly begun to claw his way back. I mean, they've generally, every game of theirs has gone to co-op. So I expect that to be the norm as well, and with CA casting, that's always happening.
oh boy, I mean, if it is to happen, then Hyderabad FC sure are going to have a lot of pressure on the hands, because I think what has been widely accepted is that, well, it doesn't matter how good or bad these players play in their individual games for FC Goa, they have a capability to, reset themselves and come in looking exceptionally strong in that co-op game. But the same cannot necessarily be said about Hyderabad. The last time they played, their last matchup was against Bengaluru FC, and even though Adizima had a brilliant individual game, DK's game was kind of close. When they came to that co-op, they were absolutely destroyed by a team, Bengaluru FC, who on that day, to be honest, they caught our eye for how good they looked defensively on the co-op. So maybe this time Hyderabad themselves would have come with an improvement.
Yeah, definitely, and we did get to see the head-to-head stats. We have the player head-to-heads, of course, over here. Afnan, one of the younger players in the tournament, he does have a FIFA rank of 1775, so slightly on the lower end of that spectrum. But Adizima, of course, an elite division player. He has looked pretty good in most of his games so far, and obviously will be looking to be the person who sort of takes charge and tries to give Hyderabad a bit of momentum. I did see in the head-to-heads when we were looking at number of goals scored for Hyderabad and FC Goa, it was actually pretty similar as we've kicked off. But with actually FC Goa having played more games, so it does look like more of the problems lie in defense for Hyderabad FC, as we of course have kicked off Hyderabad FC in their familiar yellow and black home kit, going up against FC Goa, who are in all white today.
Yeah, I think it's also the fact that most FC Goa games we see are quite low-scoring games. They tend to have a very compact defense. But taking a look at exactly that, Mbappe right now for Hyderabad FC on the wing, trying to create something. But you can see compact defense, three bodies in the box, and three bodies making sure he doesn't get a free cross.
Yeah, and defense is an area that Afnan has had to work on after I think conceding six in his
Yeah.
first game it was, and there you go. Those little he gets a bit fortunate over there, but I think he tends to be a little too aggressive with the left stick while moving defenders. Like he's trying to cover a much larger sort of arc to try and second guess where the person is going. But if he gets that arc because it's so huge, if he gets it wrong, it just opens up a massive amount of space for the opponent, especially in a one-on-one situation. And I mean that's something Adizima will have been looking at. Obviously, these guys have access to all the footage, all the streams and casts that we're doing. So yeah, I mean they're all gonna have a few plans.
Yeah. Look at this Pele right now. Oh, the 1-2 was set up. I believe it was the left back, I am assuming Hernandez making that run
Yeah.
for FC Goa, but unfortunately Gullit getting blocked. So they're just going to retain possession, and a lot of what we're expecting so far. I want to see if Afnan is able to bring a sort of change of pace. He is quite direct with the passing right now, building up the plays, got bodies forward, but once again stuck on that wing. I will say. Adizima's defense a lot more higher than Afnan's defense. Maybe that's something he could exploit through lob balls.
Yeah, quite possible. But Afnan, for now, I mean, generally he's pretty good in those once he gets into those pockets of spaces to try and beat his man one on one. For now, he's taking his time and like building slowly. Pretty high press being used by Hyderabad FC. You can see they're not even usually the pressing starts once you enter the box, and there you go. That pressure is making Afnan make a few uncharacteristic mistakes, and yeah, gets that one right. And now again, Hyderabad will be looking to get their shape in place, but with Cruyff running in behind, bit too simple over there, trying to just run that ball past Marquinhos in that instance. But yeah, winning the ball back. Very, very high line being played in terms of pressing by both teams. Maybe they've been watching a little bit of Ralph Ragnick of late and wanting to get control of the game by pressing the ball that way.
Oh boy, I hope the game is not the scoreline that we're seeing from Ralph Ragnick's games, because that's going to be, I mean, it will be intense. We're very close to, but hold on. Right now, Afnan in the box, a little too much time,
Oh, oh
maybe. The
yeah.
cutback goes too far.
Yeah, just too far. It actually reached his own player, and bit cheeky over there. You would have expected a cutback, but decided to think maybe needed to be a little cheekier over there and try to go for a little dink or a chip in that situation. Because I mean, you got Peter Schmeichel over there, who's pretty much the the guy who created the starfish save, and I don't think he's going to be beaten from so close. And we
Oh,
see a I think this could be, and it is. That's a bit unlucky. The finesse shot palmed away there by Van der Sar, but unfortunately for Afnan, straight into the path of Pele. And Adizima making this count. He has the lead, pretty much his first meaningful attack, and rub of the green goes his way. Usually those are palmed out for a corner, but that one, unfortunately, Van der Sar putting it straight into the path of the central midfielder, Card Pele. And now, well, it's not an unfamiliar situation for Afnan. He's been 1-0 down in, I think, most of his games so far, and usually managed to sort of claw it back apart from the first game. So let's see how he does today.
yep, it's similarly for Adi Zima, his last individual game. Once he got running, he did not stop. It was really only the continuous threat that maybe slowed him down a bit. So the sting of this goal perhaps can be reduced if Afnan can get an immediate answer back. Trying to do exactly that, especially with us nearing halftime so soon. Every single attack counts that much more. But yeah, again, that press that you were mentioning, just too good for Adi Zima. I feel like Afnan is maybe overthinking a little bit in the final third.
Yeah, possibly. I think he maybe needs to, and that's typically what we've seen happen when you see players who are being very, very compact in defense. Sometimes you just need to speed up your play a lot, maybe try a long ball behind. Just do whatever you can to break their concentration, to break that. I mean, defensively, after a while, you get into a bit of a rhythm, and you want to be able to break that as soon as possible so that you can, and particularly for Afnan 1-0 down. Adizima is a guy who likes to keep possession. Let's see what he can do over here. Twisting,
Oh,
turning, almost finding a way through, but Lucas Hernandez there with the tackle. And now on the counter attack, will he be quick? He has the long ball on for Ronaldo, but decides to go Mbappe as well. It's 3v3 over here if he plays this right, and yeah, has to check back a little bit now with Pele.
Oh,
1v1, had the opportunity, turning away from goal instead, going the other direction. Now again, one on one, he creates the space, but just that second shot fake not quite working out for him. And yeah, very, very composed defending there by Adizima, not getting. I mean, whatever Afnan was trying over there, he seemed to have a good read on it. As we see that manual player pass, that's sorry, manual run, which Adizima, another player who likes to use that quite often. So for now, I mean, it's been a fairly even contest. Just really been that one clear opportunity, and I wouldn't even say it was a clear opportunity because it was pretty much a finesse shot with deflection that favored the striker. And Afnan will want to get this one goal back because I mean, just mentally, he's obviously one of the younger players. He's been under a little bit of pressure. Hasn't quite clicked for him, but it's worked well in the co-op games, and now we see no real added time. But oh yeah, well, the referee not quite allowing that one. I think if it was Mumbai City FC, the referee would have
yeah.
gone on for another 3 minutes. But for now, it's 1-0 to Hyderabad FC. Been a very, very cagey encounter so far. Just the one real chance, and that has been converted by Adizima. It'll be interesting to see what the expected goals is after this game. And hopefully, we'll get to see that screen. Here we go. Not even really the best struck shot over there. But I guess Pele using those instincts and following in, hoping for a little spill from the keeper. And DK, don't leave him hanging. There you go. And it's 1-0 at halftime.
Yeah, I feel like even that save, 9 times out of 10, Van de Sar is at least like hitting it up in the air so the defender can maybe head it or something like that. It just conveniently falls into place. Definitely favoring Adizima there, but it has looked like Adizima is the more threatening one so far. While, yeah, a couple of chances have got Afnan close, it has looked like even on the defense, Adizima does have a read on what he wants to do. But hold on, once again,
Yeah.
showing us that threatening look. Mbappe is in the box 3.
Ooh. Oh, just well, right place, right time. Lothar Matthäus over there doing the job. And now these are the times where Afnan needs to make it count. You could see over there he was trying to get the pass through, but the forward sort of barged off the ball. There's a little bit of dirty Italian defending there by Paolo Maldini, just bumping the player as he's worked this well. Now will he try to go for his own finesse shot? Wonder, he's trying to work that perfect opportunity. You can see how compact Adizima is keeping it, and now it really relies on that one-on-one, whether he can beat his man and create that space. So far, managing to hold on to the ball, a bit fortunate over there. And yeah, it's just so cagey because both of these guys, I think, as good as Afnan's attack is, that's how good Adizima's defense is right now. And they're
Yeah.
just sort of cancelling each other out. It's going to take one moment, and it wasn't that one moment because Adizima very, very confident, clean tackle to win that ball back. And again, I think he's going to take his time, waste a little bit of time, probably get to his attack by maybe almost the 58 or 59-minute mark. Just eat up a few minutes, eat up a few seconds, get Afnan to press higher because obviously he's going to be desperate to get that ball back.
Yeah, and therefore inherently create more gaps and trying to utilize.
Oh, there you
gaps
go.
now.
I think that could be it. That
Corners.
could be it. There you go. Again, just the mistake over there. It's very, very simple stuff being played by Adizima, and just the defense for Afnan not quite working out over there. Just getting a little, maybe getting his switching a little bit wrong over there. Something that obviously he has been working on since game 1 after that horrific 6-1 he suffered at the hand of, I believe it was Akash from Jamshedpur. But yeah, that's a pretty straightforward finish for Pele. And 2-0. So Hyderabad FC, everything going pretty much according to plan so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Adizima in full control, and the matter just becomes to try and take this momentum forward right now and make sure that the FC Goa boys are not able to recuperate it. Because similarly, in the last matchup, Adizima was able to get the win. So we'll have to see how it translates. But right now, as you said, it does feel like, however, much of Nan seems to be nifty with the way he's trying to set up his play. Adizima is very, very willing to just hold on, be compact, and wait for that perfect tackle. And every single time he manages to get that really, really clean tackle, which just sets up his counter really well. I mean, he's not trying to counter even, just able to slowly build up, but he's got like a plethora of options on his table, and it feels like at any point Afnan is not able to deny even a single one. We'll have to see though if he's able to get something back right now because Adizima seems to have bought on
Oh, that's well
more of that
worked.
aerial presence in Ronaldo.
Yeah,
Oh,
and oh, almost finding its way through over there. Bit of an ambitious pass. It's very unlikely that that pass would actually make it. But I mean, when you're in a bit of a desperate situation like Afnan, those are the kind of things you have to try and hope that it sticks. For now, Adizima looking very composed. He's got Ronaldo now on that left flank. He's got Zidane in midfield as well. Was Zidane on for that first half? I don't recall. Or is he a
yeah, I
new
think he
substitute?
was.
Okay. Well, that's oh, he had the opportunity there to play that through ball. But he's got
Ooh,
Eusebio now, fresh legs on that left flank. What's he going to do
ooh,
now with Pele? Got the opportunity
surely.
to take the shot,
Oh
and oh my
no!
goodness, he decided to shift it onto the other weaker foot when he had a clear shot on goal, and you can see over there,
Yeah.
not very happy with that. Sort of second guessing. We've seen a lot of these corners come in from here, but he's not going for a cross. He is trying to work the shot for himself. He's got Theo Hernandez looking desperately for a player with a higher dribbling stat to get into the box. Oh, and Adizima almost doing the cutback for
Yeah.
Afnan over there and got a bit fortunate with that. But I think that was a really, really key moment because if Afnan puts that in as I'm sure he'll be aware he should have rather than turning away and getting it on the weaker foot
Yeah.
and also on the near post which the keeper had covered. But yeah, again, we're going to see Adizima just eat up a little bit of time, waste some seconds, get Afnan to press that ball. Not particularly pressing. I don't see that he's put on any kind of a constant pressure setting. I think going for a team in enabling team press over there. That's why you saw the players just all jumping towards the ball. And
Oh.
again, just getting crowded out before he can find a pass is excellent. Like offensive pressing being used by Adizima here today. And well, I think 2-0 probably the
Oh
justified
yeah.
over here. It could be 3 at this moment. Oh, and trying to do too much there with Ronaldo. And
Yeah.
again, we're going to see him just take his time. Looking for that run in behind. You can see it was triggered manually and didn't quite work out. Now on the counter attack. Gullit bringing it forward. He has
Ooh.
options, decides to use none of them, change the angle of the attack just slightly. Now with Eusebio and Pele, he's got Ronaldo relatively free in the middle. Will he look to pass back to him again? He's got Mbappe now at the edge of the box, just about managing to hang on to it. And now this is where, again, yeah, this was an improbable pass. His man was, I mean, behind the defender, so it's very unlikely that you're going to win the ball in that situation. So everything, all roads leading to Hyderabad at this point.
Yeah, I feel like we've seen a matter of two extremes from the side of Afnan in the attack, where one extreme is where, in a situation like this, he's overthinking it and not just. I feel like he can just smash it top bins right there. Ronaldo right foot so close, you know. Or a situation like we just saw in the before the replay in the live version, where he's perhaps getting a little more desperate, a little more panicky, and looking for those improbable passes. And I think we've seen this sort of. Mentality from a lot of players. Even from Shubham yesterday, we heard that for him to not able to show their actual game because of that lack of confidence, and I think perhaps that really playing into Afnan's mind here, because you can see Adizima, he seems to have a very solid game plan and he's able to execute it very well.
Yeah, and a few substitutions made over there, some fresh legs required. I'm sure we're going to see a very, very offensive formation and very high pressing from Afnan right now, which will, of course, create opportunities for Adizima to counter attack with. Will he be able to hold on to the ball there? Not quite. And now, if he plays this right, he could be in for another. There you go. The ball played down the flank. He has two strikers pretty much in the middle. Rude Gullit over there. Will he go for the shot? He's
Oh,
worked that beautifully. Takes it and
oh,
puts it wide over. He's Sergio Ramos it right there. And Afnan has another opportunity. I mean, if there's any shot for him, he has to get a goal from this play. Otherwise, it's pretty much over. The offside trap not quite working for Hyderabad there. And now, there you go. He has the opportunity. He's played in
off.
Eusebio. Is he onside?
Yeah, he's on.
No, just got it a little too late over there. He was living right on the edge of that the defensive shoulder over there, but just not working out for him. And now you have to think that Adizima is going to see it out. And just as I say that, he's given the ball away. And for now, looking for an opening which just isn't quite there. They're so well organized in that Hyderabad defense. Again, not able to find. Gets a bit lucky, but gives it back. I don't think he was expecting that ball to make it back. And as we get into stoppage time, Hyderabad FC with the ball, uh, probably not going to be allowed to complete this move. And yeah, 90 minutes go, and win for Adizima. Hyderabad FC off to a good start. Bit of sort of the same old story for FC Goa, where not getting the 3 points in game one. V Sharma coming under pressure and and he's shown. I mean, he's shown that he is really the ultimate pressure player. He's been able to adapt really well. We saw in a previous game as well, where I think it was against Odisha, where we saw the defense really well organized, and then V Sharma started using the fullbacks and scoring goals with
Yeah.
Theo Hernandez. So obviously a very technically sound player, a player who's in a very good form. He's managed to get at least the, I believe, at least the draw in all his games, and then they've managed to
Yeah.
clinch it in the co-op. So let's see if it's going to be a familiar story again for FC Goa.
I think that game you're talking about against Mufu, particularly from Northeast United, because I remember us
Ah,
talking to
yes.
him in the interview as well. And yeah, that little bit of just capability to be able to
Yeah.
tactically adapt in the moment, I think that's going to be the biggest difference for both of these players coming into the next matchup, wherein Adi Zima seems a lot more confident in his tactical strengths. I feel like DK hasn't necessarily shown that confidence, and similarly, like Afnan hasn't shown that. Of course, V Sharma has, and we discussed it at the start. We are basically seeing what we've come to see as the number one versus number two setting in this matchup. You can see every single setting for Adi Zima, it never felt rushed. It never felt like he was under too much pressure.
Yeah, he always looked like in complete control of that game. This was the moment that I think really could have changed it, because suddenly when the momentum is with the opposition, you're just a goal down. Then you start. It's a bit of a catch-22. You know, do you keep attacking? Do you try to sit back and defend? Because invariably, when you try to sit back and defend, you're gonna concede a goal, as we have seen in this tournament. And this one, well, you probably feel he could have scored this. Just getting that shot slightly wrong, maybe putting too much power in there. And yeah, there you go. I think if you look at the expected goals, it is 2 for Hyderabad. And I think the damning stat really for FC Goa is just 2 shots on target.
Yeah.
And they work both good opportunities, you have to say, because the expected goals from there is 1.5. So you would expect at least one of them to have gone in, and that was, of course, the one that that was saved, the shot from Ronaldo. A huge amount of passes done by FC Goa, but not enough penetration. It's a story we've seen quite often in the eISL so far with a lot of players. Defense is sort of the meta in this game, so if your defense is sorted out, you've sort of done half of the job when you're playing in FIFA 22. And let's
Ooh.
quickly go over now. We have Adizima with us, and let's see what he has to say.
Uh,
Adizima, congrats on your win. How are you feeling?
Uh, Thank you. But I feel like I was very lucky in this game. He should
oh.
have scored with R9, and I was very lucky with the first goal. The keeper spilled it and he gave it to Pele.
Yeah,
I mean,
but I mean, listen, your defense was organized really well. We were looking at the game stats as well. Afnan pretty much only got 2 shots away. One, of course, was the R9 shot, which we will probably argue he should have scored. But
Hmm.
defensively, looking very solid. Is that something that you've been working on of late?
I feel like my attack is not so much great as compared to other players, but defensively, I feel like I'm one of the best in this country.
yeah, it's clearly
And
evident in your gameplay, and I think there's one more stat that really caught my eye. It was the number of tackles versus tackles won, wherein you definitely had lesser tackles attempted, but way more tackles won itself as compared to him. So I think what stood out to me was the 1v1s that you were continuously winning. Is that something you anticipated having the advantage in coming in the game?
no, I don't think so. But I try to play my game. But I feel like Afnan had a really good game. He had the ball. I'm usually a position player, usually had like 55-60% of the ball in the other games. But this game, it was very difficult for me to create only. You saw I had 4 shots on a target.
Yeah.
And
No, but I
uh,
think defensively you did a superb job, just restricting him to those 2 shots. And congrats and good luck to DK and good luck for the co-op game to come.
thank you, thank you.
That was Adi Zima. Well,
Quite
a
humble.
bit of a mixture of modest and confident over there, being
Yeah.
humble, saying that Afnan deserved to win, but also the confidence to say that he's one of the best defensive players, and
Yeah.
it probably showed. It did show in that game.
Yeah, absolutely, right. I think the idea that he's able to recognize his strengths and weaknesses, for me, that's a big green flag. I think a player, especially this early into the tournament, immediately honing in on the areas he would like to work on him himself. I think it lifts a lot of pressure, especially from his teammate, because then they're able to much more easily communicate about how they want to work together. And I think we're going to have to see in this next game if that has actually happened, because last time around when Hyderabad did play, it was a similar story. Adizima did get the win in his individual game, but then things only went downhill from there. So we'll have to see if DK can change that flow.
Yeah, DK, another guy who's sort of waiting for that tide to slightly change for him. He has had a few good moments so far in the tournament, with a few last minute clutch performances from him, but for the most part, it's I think defensively he struggled a little bit, sort of like Afnan, who's generally been very solid with his attack. But on defense, DK is going to have his work cut out against V Sharma today. Of course, V Sharma has abandoned the headband for this game. Maybe is that the good luck charm that he's left back in the hotel room? I guess we'll find out. And there you go with the head-to-heads. 3 matches played, 5 goals scored. 4 matches played, 8 goals scored for V Sharma. So a straight average of pretty much 2 goals per game for V Sharma. Not you don't see particularly high scoring games from him. But yeah, 5 goals scored, but goals conceded I think would be the more interesting stat for us to see over there.
Yeah.
And yeah, let's take a look quickly at the skill ratings. We see, of course, V Sharma, one of the highest skill rated players in the tournament with 2117. DK with 1960, actually a higher skill rating than Adizima. So you would technically then say that he is the number one player. But if you've been looking at form in the tournament, I think Adizima has been just outperforming his teammate a little bit, and DK, of course, will be out to put that right.
Yeah, absolutely. And I also noticed, like for FC Goa, possibly, I believe actually the youngest team for us in the eISL. So a lot of like pressure on like two very young players, both 18 of age, and I think the fact that they've been able to show a level of maturity that they can gel so well in their co-op really bodes well. But as you said, V Sharma has been the more consistent factor. The story for FC Goa usually has been for V Sharma to try and salvage the tie in his individual game, and then in the co-op they come all guns blazing. So we'll have to see if DK is able to change that, because as you said, there have most definitely been moments of brilliance from DK, and I feel like in a few of the games it was mostly the momentum factor running away from him. So maybe a tighter game can help him out, especially against an opponent like V Sharma.
Yeah, and just a little observation about FC Goa as well. Obviously, very young players, both of them 18 years of age, and also one of the few teams that has two players who are ranked in FIFA.
Yeah.
We have seen usually a ranked player and an elite division, or a ranked and a division 2 or a division 1. But both of these guys amongst the elite in the game. And I mean, there is that old adage of football, which is that you don't win anything with kids, but when it comes to the eISL and FIFA, of course, as a fight, a tug of war happening with the towels. It seems. It looks like maybe one has been snuggled. No, yeah, I don't think they're throwing in the towel. They're pulling in the towel. It does look like maybe one of them sneaking it in from their hotel room. Very typically Indian thing to do. Like, okay, I'll borrow this for a while and I'll give it back. Maybe, who knows? And yeah, there we go. V Sharma using his nice, like foregoing the big headphones to just have his the buds in his ears. Just get that complete noise isolation experience. And well, hopefully he'll have 1 year open in case Afnan spots something that he can tell him. But here we go. It is Hyderabad FC DK versus. Whoa, well dodged there by Root Gullit, showing incredible flexibility. And we have, of course, V Sharma of FC Goa. The form player of the tournament, you would have to say, V Sharma. Doesn't I mean, you don't really see him involved in spectacular high-scoring ties, but consistency is the name of the game for him.
Exactly, right. But yeah, Gullit has a lot of flexibility there. It makes sense. He's been in every game. But hold on, V Sharma. Very aggressive from the start, but that ball a little too far from Eusebio. But it's going to be okay for him. This is a player who loves controlling the ball, controlling the possession, and doing exactly that,
Oh, he's
setting up
working that
Eusebio.
brilliantly for Eusebio, but well
Ooh.
defended there. That was crucial to make sure he was following the movements exactly. The moment V Sharma went left, he had to go with him, and well, that's I think for V Sharma that'll tell him quite a bit about his opponent. That one-on-ones are not going to be easy. There are some players who are very good organizing the
Yeah.
defense and just shutting down spaces, but when it comes to 1v1 defending, which is one of the hardest things to do in this game, some players do struggle a little bit, and a bit of a risk taken there, and getting a bit fortunate with the bounce of the ball. Ruud Gullit now switching the play. He's got Mbappe trying to force that pass again through a gap that wasn't there. And now it's settled down. Let's see what DK's style of play is. He likes to, I mean, he is a player who likes to use a few skill moves, likes to use the wide areas quite a bit. So, very intriguingly poised.
Oh,
There you go, knocking that in, but well marshaled over there by V Sharma. A very balanced player, V Sharma. You can't really say that, attack or defense is his weakness. He's equally good at both, and now looking for that opportunity. You can see DK trying to press him high using the second man press uh, to engage with using the midfielder while sorting out his defense. And now Gullit on the flanks. Oh, he's worked that well. That's a great ball for Pele,
oh,
and that was the right
oh,
idea. I think that's offside though,
no.
and
Oh,
yeah, it is. It's a great idea. I think the absolute right ball
yeah.
to play over there. Maybe just needed to dink it or use just the double tap X pass to just give it that elevation and stop the defender. And good pressure to win it back up again. So I think we're seeing a familiar pattern emerging of V Sharma coming in when he's under pressure, needs to get 3 points. I mean, or rather, needs to get the match win and putting his opponent under severe pressure. But DK, I think most of his game is going to be played on the counter attack, and he needs to be clinical when he gets his chances.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's where we're going to see a lot of those 1v1s really come to light. Which player is able to outsmart and outwit each other right now? Sharma controlling that ball just on the edge of it. But as you said, DK is so compact. Every single time the ball reaches the edge, he's able to shut it down. This time, though, using Vieira, a weird mesh of physics, but he's on the counter.
Yeah, and there I think just trying to do it a little too quickly.
Yeah.
It can be tempting to just score the goal with just 3 passes, bang, 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 and take the shot. But now he's got Mbappe at the end of the area. Oh, that's a great ball, and that's a brilliant goal. And just the precision of that passing there, surgical from V Sharma, and gets the goal. He's been looking for that ball just in behind the defense when he's at the edge of the area. Gets the goal. Ronaldo 9 it is, and 1-0 to FC Goa.
Yeah, and the vision to be able to pull off that with such precision in such a quick pace, right? He went back to back to back as soon as he got the ball from the counter, failing over at DK's side. And DK is certainly going to be ruining that. He was able to maybe control the ball a little bit longer. Not only would the goal not be in, but he'd also still have a chance at the counter himself. But the game's not nearly even close to over yet. It's just 25 minutes in and we're only 1-0. So let's see if DK is able to stabilize his gameplay and deny the momentum that has certainly gone in favor of V Sharma now.
Oh, absolutely. And now for DK, it's a bit different because he can't just hit. Oh, hang on, that's a bit of a well, almost felt like a glitch in the game where suddenly time stood still. And now he has the opportunity. If he sees the ball to Mbappe, he does. Is he gonna sprint in that situation? Not really. Deciding. Oh, that's a gorgeous pass. Have the shot. Oh yes, but no, he just wasted a bit too much time. I think he was looking for that perfect shooting angle.
Yeah.
It can happen a lot of times, especially when if you play football yourself, you want to take the shot that you would take in real life. But these are like literally the most skilled players in the world, and they can score from any angle. Again, trying to work that angle. Had the shot just opening up on R9's left foot. Perhaps a little throwback to Afnan's moment where he was like, okay, the left foot shot won't quite work, so I'm gonna try something else. It's getting very, very close to that second goal.
Yeah, absolutely. Continuously looking threatening is V Sharma right now, and it looked like for a second DK might have had the counter, but once again cheaply giving it away in his own midfield will give V Sharma a lot of control and a lot of pressure. Will it on the wing, 1v2 versus his own namesake, and another able to get out of there and just stabilize. This is the strength of V Sharma. When he looks to be in a bad situation, he stabilizes and One lucky
Ooh,
deflection will not
still
mean another.
manages to get it back from Eusebio, and that will deflect out for a throw to FC Goa, I believe, yes. And yeah, it's just incessant pressure. He's knocking on the door very politely at first, but at some point,
Yeah,
you're going to see him blow that door down because there's an air of almost
ooh,
inevitability over here as he gives it away. And it's just these kind of games where sometimes the rub of the green goes against you. You're completely on top. Suddenly, one ball manages to find its way through, one deflection, one bounce goes your way, and suddenly, as an opponent, you can get back in. But for now, V Sharma having absolutely none of that. You can see just how narrow that defense is having to play to cope with what V Sharma is doing, and this is what he's so good at. He loves to just keep that possession, keep patient, keep knocking on the door, and finally, oh, is that a little bit of a camera change you've seen over there? Quite
yeah,
possibly. And I think maybe he has mapped a camera change button to his controller.
yeah.
Just sometimes you
Interesting.
want to get a little bit of a overview of the game, and that almost worked out. You could see, I think he's using the wider camera because he wants to trigger those runs manually.
Yeah.
Interesting tactics. That's something that I've not quite seen before.
Yeah, exactly. And it's something that I think I might personally actually look into to see if I could use because I definitely see the merit in it. But hold on, the cross was well done towards the far post, but unfortunately, Gullit for the side of Sharma ready to trigger this now counter attack. Eusebio on a huge run, but the pass. Oh, that was Pele. Hold on.
Oh, that's worked well. If he's onside,
Ah,
and I think he
wait,
was
was that?
offside. That's why the ref
Ah,
blew the
okay.
whistle. But yeah, V Sharma, he's looked completely in control, has that little cheeky smile on his face. He's probably going to think he should be 2-0 up. There was one very clear opportunity where he didn't take the shot. This one was beautifully worked. And another similar opportunity where he played that same sort of slide rule pass in behind defense and second guessed himself a little bit. I think this moment here, there you go. I think he could have just taken that shot. Initially, you could
Yeah.
see the reaction. And Afnan saying, it's okay, don't worry. I've been there myself, it'll come.
Yeah.
And for DK, obviously has to look into. There's not much you can do when V Sharma's controlling possession like that. But when he does get that counter attack, when he does get the turnover of possession, that's where what's going to be his plan. He needs to have a proper plan in place and try to execute that. And that's I think what he's been going to be discussing with Adizima. What do I do when I get the ball?
Yeah, exactly, right? Because right now, even though there have been some opportunities for DK to counter, I don't think V Sharma's goalkeeper has played the game exactly. He's just been chilling in his goalpost, waiting for some pressure to come to him. And I think that's what DK really needs to do here. Try and crack V Sharma's presence right now and force something through. And he's able to almost get
Oh,
that through, but
almost.
well
Yeah, that
done
was
bringing
a
the keeper.
yeah, well attempted over there. You can see, and he is gonna have to try something different,
Yeah.
maybe a little route one football, so to speak. Oh, that's a lovely through ball, and he's got options available over here. The patterns of play are really, really nice. Didn't quite work out for him there, and now again, just DK anticipating, sort of gambling almost the right way, just anticipating that he's going to turn to the right and blocking off that right passage because if V Sharma turns the other way, then he's just hopelessly exposed. But for now,
Yeah.
DK still in this game is just 1-0. Uh, Even though V Sharma has had a lot of control, a lot of possession, it may seem like he's leading by
Oh,
more, but it is just the one. And this has worked very well. If he can get that cross in, elects not to. I think he'll go back outside. No, he
oh,
doesn't. He decides to create it with
no.
Pele, and oh,
Ay,
not
ay.
quite. Again, I think there would have been a couple of moments where his eyes just briefly lit up.
Yeah.
But suddenly, just as soon as that gap opened, it was shut with the same speed by V Sharma. And now V Sharma himself, will he go direct? Very rare that you see him just lob in across, hopefully. And yeah, this is where he's comfortable. This is what he wants to do. Pass, 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 pass. Try to work that opening. Didn't quite happen for him this time. And again, DK, it's a bit of a fallen into a bit of a rhythm this game has.
Yeah, and
And yeah, now it's basically just can DK get the goal on the counter attack? That's basically what this game is about now.
yep, one goal for DK is so valuable because we have to remember Adizima won game one. So even if DK is able to get a draw, it guarantees that they cannot lose this match entirely. But similarly, one goal for the side of V Sharma will give him a lot more security in that cushion of the fact that he wants to win this game. right now, trying to move it forward with Gullit. Once again, very, very patient, and you have to start feeling the frustration that
Ooh.
DK is feeling, but the pressure is
Yeah, I
there.
mean, he couldn't afford to lose the ball there because he had committed an
Ooh.
extra midfielder to attack. So did well to just hold on to possession and now,
Oh,
whoa, that worked out well. Pele, a bit of a brain freeze from Pele, you have to say over there, and getting the turn now using Cafu on that wing. Now Vieira suddenly turning it up a notch,
whoa,
and oh, he's passed it straight to him. This could be a goal,
what?
you know. Van der
Oh
Sar
my god.
comes in with a tackle, and it's all happening here. He's got the opening.
Oh,
Surely he has to take the shot. It's blocked
oh,
again. Desperate defending over here from V Sharma somehow manages to escape. His heart will have been absolutely pounding over there. And now on the counter attack, DK, I think now with the substitution impending, will probably look to try and turn the screw. Maybe that's given him a little bit of motivation. Maybe he's had an idea about something that he can do after that attack. And for now, see Vieira looking for Eusebio. He reads that perfectly. And I think V Sharma is going to be feeling a little more nervous on defense after having that sustained pressure, and he needs to just sort of reset. Maybe the pause in the game when it does come will be useful for him as well if he can keep it at 1-0.
true.
And again, that's worked well. He's using Gullit to great effect
Ooh,
over there. Maldini cuts that out. And it is quite interesting, of course. V Sharma, we do know, is one of the few players in the eISL who plays with a very narrow 4-1-2-1-2 formation. And this time, will it work out? He's got Pele on the ball, barging through to Van der Sar. Doesn't quite stick. And yeah, those substitutes on the sideline for DK have probably warmed up and cooled down by now
yeah.
because it's been 15 minutes in game since he cues that pause. And now using the pace of Mbappe, lovely little scoop turn over there to create the space. Now with Gullit, I wonder if we're going to see DK just take a gamble and have a shot from range, and maybe that might be reflected in his substitutions as well if he looks to bring on like say a Messi or somebody else. Now he's got Pele
Oh,
in the box. He's working that opportunity, twisting, turning. V Sharma getting it done over there, and now it's 2v2, but well marshaled again as we go into the last 10 minutes, and almost again,
I,
almost sticking for DK. He's really making V Sharma work for this.
I feel like he almost would get so much value out of a shot because even if he gets a corner, he gets to make his substitutions. Because now we're at the 83rd minute mark, the same play going on. V Sharma just ensuring that those subs don't get to come on, and even though his players are just as tired, he's able to keep that lead. Once again, though, Pele not able to outrun Kafu. Maybe a bit of that fatigue setting in and bit of that pressure, the sustained pressure he's able to maintain as well. But right now, that manual run not finding the pass immediately, and it slowed down once again. We're almost towards the end of the game, and still DK not able to make his substitutions. He's gonna have to rely on just these players to find that goal, and so far he's not been able to hit it spot on. Got really, really close, but now once again trying to control the ball. Actually, try to at least make sure he gets the final attack, but I don't know.
Yeah, and V Sharma just looked. He has the overload on the right flank, and this should and could be it. But
Yeah.
no, there is cover on that far post, and V Sharma now happy to just play it into the corner. Oh no, it's worked out reasonably well. He does get the corner, and now DK can make a substitution as we go into stoppage time. I think he'll be quite bummed about that. And another typical V Sharma performance, you would have to say low scoring, but relatively in
Oh,
control. No major panic apart from this spell of sustained pressure, which again I think he could have taken either pass to Cruyff or taken the shot a little bit earlier over there. And similarly for V Sharma as well, getting in there not quite happening for him. As the corner kick happens, DK will be trying to make as many substitutions as he can and appealing to the ref, saying, "Ref, come on, 3 substitutions, add more stoppage time, come on." But for now, it does look like it's all in V Sharma's control. I'm sure he's going to take this corner short,
that
waste a
would be.
little bit of time by getting the player to run in. And yeah, clock is ticking down. He's taking as long as the referee allows him. And yeah, he's just going to keep it there. Wins another corner, and that is the game done. You can see a bit of resignation from DK there as well. I'm sure we're going to see this ball just be cleared out of anywhere. There you go, and that should be that. And well, after 2-0 to Hyderabad, we now see a 1-0 to Goa. Of course, the goal difference at this point doesn't matter. What we do know is that this is going to be decided by the co-op game. Surprise, surprise, in an FC Goa match, it's going to be the co-op as the decider. And little bit of argy-bargy across the benches, maybe some complaints from DK about time wasting. Actually, I don't think so.
Yeah.
But yeah, there you go. 2-0 Adizima against Afnan. 1-0 V Sharma against DK. You have to say defense is very much on top in this game, and we have seen in co-op at least a huge improvement. Actually, a consistent performance from FC Goa.
Yeah.
Last time out in their co-op game, Hyderabad didn't have the best time. So obviously they've had a few days off. They would have been working on things as well. And let's see what those new plans, those new tactics, what are they going to be? We're going to find out over here. This was so close. Oh, sorry, this was the goal. In fact, there was one more when Hyderabad were attacking in exactly this position. That was so close to being a goal. And you can see the fist pump over there. He knew that job was not done at all. Could have scored over here. He could have finished this game off right here. But slightly second guessing himself. Afnan being like, hey, it's okay. It happens. I did the same thing. And yeah, largely a game dominated by V Sharma. But towards that second half, it got really nervy. Especially this one. You see the Van der Sar.
Yeah.
It could so easily have been a penalty over there. The keeper could have just... And I'm sure it was the AI that came and made that tackle.
Yeah.
And it could have just ended horribly in that moment for V Sharma, but eventually works out well for him. He gets the win. A little bit of a shake of the head after that, and there you go. Expected goals for Hyderabad 0.1, expected goals for FC Goa 0.9. So pretty much, justified that scoreline of 1-0, and defense is well and truly on top in this tie overall. We've seen Adizima with an excellent defensive display. We've seen V Sharma also with an equally brilliant defensive display. And yeah, looks like we have a 0-0 incoming in this co-op game. Let's hope not.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously co-op's going to be very different. And you would have to say when it comes down to co-op, given their record, FC Goa would be the favourites.
Yeah, especially given the last result that Hyderabad had in their own co-op against Bengaluru. So right now, definitely FC Goa will be feeling a lot more comfortable. And I think going into this match, though, the biggest difference for both of these teams going into this co-op game is going to be the similarity in style, in the sense that both are extremely good on that defensive half. So I feel like maybe just a moment of brilliance in attack will be the one that shifts this game.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, we're just waiting for this game to start. Should be happening very soon. And yeah, let's quickly find out a little bit about the players that we are seeing in a little video package that we've our producer's been working very hard to put together.
I'm Darvesh from Delhi. I'm 22 years old.
I'm Aditya. I'm 23. I'm from Bhopal. And I will be playing for Hyderabad FC.
Hyderabad FC has one of the coolest kits in the league.
We are a new team, and you know news is always better. So better watch out for us.
So I started playing the game competitively around 4 years ago.
FIFA 22 is a step towards being a professional.
The game comes to me naturally, and I was born to play this game.
Every Hyderabad fan is special, and I want you all to come and support us.
I believe if you watch our first game day, you'll keep watching us till the end.
My name is Vanshad Sharma. I'm 18 years old and I'm from Mumbai city.
Hi, my name is Afnan Amin Khan. I'm 18 years old from Bhopal and I'm representing
FC Goa. FC Goa is famous for its beaches and it has some excellent players in their football team.
We're one of the best teams in eISL. The fans are amazing and I'm looking forward to representing it.
I'm a passionate and a competitive FIFA player that has been playing since 2018.
I love playing it in the free time. Even when I'm doing something, I just want to grab my controller and play FIFA.
I play football in real life and I hope I can give the game what it's given me.
Keep loving us, keep supporting us.
Me and my teammate will give an excellent performance representing FC Goa.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Game 3 of this match between FC Goa and Hyderabad FC in the eISL. And just a quick recap, Adizima did win Game 1 for the side of Hyderabad FC, and of course, V Sharma able to secure the win just now for FC Goa. So going into the co-op, Azim, everything on the line for both of these teams.
Yeah, and as I said, of course, slight favorites in this situation, FC Goa, but we know that Hyderabad FC will have been working on their game individually. I mean, these guys seem to be very, very solid on defense. So, I mean, there's no reason why that wouldn't be the case when they're playing together in co-op as well.
Yeah.
In attack, we have seen FC Goa work reasonably well in their co-op. I think they're similar styles of players, so they sort of have that wavelength, that common frequency between the two of them of what's going to happen, who's going to do what, where they need to be in what position. And of course, it's all about communication. We have spoken to V Sharma before. He has said that it's all about talking and constant. Obviously, a lot of practice goes into this, and communication very key. Let's see if Hyderabad have also been working on the communication. Of course, we do come to know on the player cams who's talking and how loudly. And obviously, you can't even shout. Like when you're wide open, you can't even shout at your teammate, because then the guys are sitting on the next table. They'll come to know and block it off. So have to maintain the right level of decibels as well.
Yeah, I wonder if in case this might help with the headphones actually, and if you could actually use the mics themselves. But we see a lot of players actually not opting to use earphones/headphones, rather just opting to have a clear head and not listen to the game audio when it comes in. And we'll have to see. But as you mentioned, the comms going to be the most important factor. Now, Adizima extremely shocked. Like, he's like, bro, why are we not playing Pele? Why is Pele not in our squad?
Yeah. So what do you mean we are playing Matteo Guendouzi in midfield? What's wrong with you?
Oh boy. Oh boy. I actually used to be an Arsenal fan, so that
Yeah.
hurts even more.
Yeah, it's just like, well, we got one long haired guy in Gullit, let's just replace him with another long hair. Let's put Fellaini in there, YOLO.
Oh my god.
Although the rule breakers Fellaini card is actually pretty good in this game. It's one that I've been trying to get myself because I do need a Belgian midfielder. But the league sort of throws the chemistry off in that situation. But good guy to have on the bench, as he has been at most of his for most of his time at United, particularly a super sub to come off the bench and score that header. And particularly with these games being decided by late set pieces, might have been an interesting player to have him.
Yeah, that's actually really curious. If even if you're not Fellaini, maybe if I want to see if certain teams start carrying header specialists almost in their bench, and against particularly players like V Sharma, right, who are so narrow and you have space on the wings, maybe you can use that tactic, especially in the co-op game when you can ask your teammate to make that run and therefore set up the cross. And we've seen a lot of that actually recently in co-op, so we'll see if these teams are able to do it. But let's get into it. And already,
Given straight away, but a bit of a recovery. I think there would have been a slight reprimand happening on the table over there immediately at FC Goa. And for now, both teams, we know both teams are very aggressive press happening over there. So clearly, maybe is that just a plan, or did both of them just not talk and decide to press the same player? Guess we'll find out as the pattern of this game evolves. But for now, given straight back, so both teams little rusty. Maybe I think still struggling to switch from solo to co-op play. It does take usually a few minutes to properly get your head into co-op, and maybe that's what we're seeing with a lot of cheap giveaways. We have seen this recurring theme of both defenders for FC Goa being very, very tight. You see, just leaving that literally 1 or 2 meters, almost it's almost like they have their legs are connected by a 2 meter long piece of rope. They just can't go any further than that. But for now, defending that well, and they'll be looking to counter attack again. Even when they do build up, I think a lot of the play is sort of decided by the way V Sharma wants to play the game. So let's see how they evolve.
Yeah, especially because even Afnan seemed to be that player, always looking for the clear cut pass and the clear cut opportunity. So does vibe with both of them quite well. But as you mentioned, a couple of minutes in now, they're not looking as
Oh, there you
rusty.
go. Oof.
The cutback almost there for Ronaldo, but not going to make it. And now an opportunity to start the counter off for Hyderabad FC. Cruyff has a lot of space to find this pass, and with that, he does get Vieira free, but a little too early for Ronaldo.
Yeah, could have been a pretty effective counter attack over there. We do see a lot more long balls played in behind the defense in co-op games because you can have obviously so much more control over where that run is going to go and really make those darting runs in behind defense. But for the moment, they're going to take their time and keep building slowly. Of course, in these games, V Sharma, of course, knows exactly what he's doing, and Afnan obviously has to make sure he's.
Oh,
Oh, that's a bit. That's a bit shady over there. A bit
yeah,
of again shady Italian defending from Paolo Maldini. Seen quite a bit of that in this match so far, and yeah, I mean, if I was actually playing in that game, I would have been screaming at the ref, saying, "Come on,
yeah.
ref, what's going on?
Like, are
Refer
you
that to
serious?
VAR."
Yeah. But now we can see once again the possession being controlled by FC Goa. This has become a recurring theme from what we saw in V Sharma's matchup, and I think especially even in the first matchup when we talked to Adizima, he was explaining how he didn't really get to control as much as he would like against Afnan as well. So together, these players are able to maintain that style, and for Hyderabad, a lot of pressure continuously. But towards the latter half of DK's matchup, he was able to get sustained pressure on the counter attacks, and I think that's the groove they would really like to fit into. Continuously try to deny this midfield uh, build up and keep that pressure on, but that does sap your stamina quite a bit.
Yeah, it does. And from what I can tell, I think the red cursor is V Sharma and the blue is Afnan. So I think you'll see a lot of the playmaking, so to speak, done by V Sharma. There you go, trying to put that final ball in just to give Afnan a bit of a tap in, but not quite working out for now. And again, we're going to see that defense very well marshaled over there. And yeah,
Mhm.
defense is well and truly on top so far over here. Not even a shot of any real consequence in these opening 30 minutes. And of course, a lot on the line for these teams. FC Goa win can take them provisionally to the top of the table. For Hyderabad, of course, a win well just helps them get a bit of momentum. They've only played, I believe, 3 games so far.
Mhm.
This would be their fourth. And oh, that's a bit of a lucky nutmeg over there.
Yeah.
Ruud Gullit doing a slight split. And yeah, that's not what you want to do. Afnan, I think, taking a little bit too much time on the ball there.
Oh,
Lucky to get the possession back. And
this.
yeah, it's going to be so cagey. You know what? I think my prediction of nil-nil could be completely spot on for this one because right now, actually, hang on. Now a little overexposed. You see the left back going over to cover.
Ooh.
And oh, well done over there. A bit of a brave header back to the keeper. You don't want to overdo that and head it into your own net. And he does have the ball in behind if he can spot it. Well, he did
Ah.
for a moment, and now it's gone. And does look like there's no major special tactics happening over here. It is a standard 4-4-2 or 4-2-4 from both teams. That's a well worked ball, and now it's about where that run is going to go. Because a lot of times in co-op, it's not even just about like making the run to get past to yourself. It's sometimes about making the run as a decoy. And now
Yeah.
Afnan in the box,
Ooh.
trying to work that shooting opportunity, gets a little bit of a telling off from V Sharma over there, or a little tip saying, no, go the other way, or do this, or do that. And ooh, that's a bit of a risky pass.
Yeah.
And yeah, this first half is flown through. No shots on target that I can recall so far. And a game, and I think probably the first 2 games should have told us that this would be the pattern of the game. A game where defense is well and truly on top.
Yeah, and that's why I feel like maybe that one moment of brilliance will be on every player's mind. You could see Afnan trying for that Elastico to create space for Ronaldo, but it simply doesn't work out because not only is Hyderabad compact, but like DK, who is really good at reading what V Sharma is able to do, they're able to use that to get tackles in too. But it the same story on the other side of the pitch. Like towards that final third, they get intercepted, but hold on, this is a quick counter attack, and now Ronaldo in a lot of space can find the pass back, and he
There you
does in
go.
exactly that.
And yeah, that's pretty much what we've seen for FC Goa for a majority of this season, which is that in the co-op games, you see V Sharma being the one who takes the initiative to sort of break down that defense and just put it on a plate for Afnan to get that goal. And there you have it, FC Goa yet again taking the lead in a co-op tie in the eISL. So yeah, it's going to be now. Can Hyderabad FC break down this stubborn defense of FC Goa and be probably the first team to beat them in co-op this season?
Yeah, and it's going to be a very, very difficult
Oh,
task, but a
hang on. This
nice
should be.
roulette.
Just take the shot. Wow, the
Oh.
power he generated on that. Unfortunately, went near post instead of far post. That was a blistering shot. I'm quite sure he's got a hunter or a sniper card on that Pele because that shot power was insane. And the header comes in, and oh, what a save from
Oh!
Van der Sar. I think getting lucky with the bounce of the ball to begin with in the game, sort of then compensating by saying, okay, here you go, the keeper will save it. Sorry for that glitch. But well, just as I said that it's going to be a challenge for Hyderabad to break things down. They're creating chance after chance, and at halftime, I think Afnan just clearing the ball away. He's like, you know what, I need to take a bit of a breather over here. Maybe do take a bit of a pause and figure out what we're doing. And here we see the couple of chances that have been created by FC Goa. Nothing majorly significant happening until this moment over here, where just got in behind, and it's now about does he have the composure to pick that right pass? Holds that little hesitation, and when he's sure the passing lane is opened up, that's when he makes the pass. And of course, the Afnan's probably not going to have a simpler finish than that all season.
I feel like props to be also given to Afnan just in that moment where maybe he was told that the pass is coming, or maybe he felt that the pass is coming, dropping off from the defender, marking him just for that moment. Like it takes, obviously, it looks very simple, but it takes that precise timing to be able to do that, and a lot of synergy between both of the players. So, of course, not surprising for us, it has been the theme for FC Goa really throughout this matchup, but really scintillating last 5 minutes of that first half. I hope that's the action we get to see throughout the rest of the second half, because it almost looked like players had this level of urgency to them, and that urgency very much needed right now, especially for Hyderabad FC.
Yeah, and yeah, urgency. You see over there, nobody at the far post over there. You can see the. I don't think whoever's on the ball will be particularly happy with the runs that the teammate offered over there. Oh, that's lovely from V Sharma. Just sort of sold him a little bit of a dummy, and now Afnan will look to create. V Sharma again over there hands it off to Afnan once more. There is a pass if he can see it. He's desperately looking for that pass with Cruyff in the middle of the park, but no cigar. And what a weird saying that is, no
Yeah.
cigar. Well, but we will debate the the validity of sayings in a while as
Oh.
Afnan wins the corner. And FC Goa will want that second goal. They just want to close this out. They don't want a stressful end to the game. See again something pointed out over there, V Sharma. Maybe a little tactic that they've worked on, maybe a corner kick routine that they've had in mind. You can see over there Hyderabad FC very quickly closing down that pass to which would then lead to a cross into the box. And now, well,
Ah.
that's unfortunate for him. And will he run down the line? It was initially an idea, but given away from their own throw, you hate it when that happens. And Hyderabad FC again giving the ball away. And now FC Goa, can they capitalize and close this out and just give themselves a calm last 30 minutes?
We'll have to see, because if the first half was a pattern we can follow, it will be mostly just calm, at least for the next 20 minutes, and then that's where we maybe get to see players picking up, just turning up the notch and picking up the pace. So right now, though, Hyderabad FC getting gifted the ball a little bit, and they are able to set up their own play, try to build something up. But you can see already the bodies in defense for FC Goa. It's very hard to find the gaps, and it's really what Hyderabad seems to be struggling with, especially given the fact that they can't really commit too many attackers, since the only goal they conceded was on that counter.
Yeah, and there's really not much you can do. You see every player really marked over there. So now it's going to come down to a bit of individual skill, and that's really what it's going to take
Ooh.
to beat FC Goa and break them down on co-op. It's going to take individual brilliance. As oh, that's a bit. I always it's just such a heart and mouth moment when the ball goes to keeper that close, because just one false touch of the analog stick and suddenly you've walked it into your own net, and it's a complete disaster. But no disasters for now. Afnan holding that ball up quite nicely. And yeah, looking. I mean, it does look like Hyderabad FC's defense is also set up in a pretty similar way,
Yeah.
where although I think they're a little too close to each other in that instance, the midfielders. And
Oh,
there, this is the chance for Afnan. Clinical precision over there. There we go. V Sharma again, the creator, as Afnan puts it into the bottom corner. That's beautifully worked. And I think that should be it for FC Goa,
yeah.
unless we see something spectacularly different from Hyderabad FC. Love the old school football as well. Probably makes sense to have that old school ball when there's mainly just icons playing.
Yeah.
And yeah, now a bit of a break. I think a bit of a breather for FC Goa as well. Opportunity to just take some fluids in for Afnan. And yet again for Afnan, having failed to win his first match, the co-op play and the chemistry that he has with V Sharma eventually is what is winning the day for FC Goa. And could,
Yeah.
I believe, provisionally this result put them on top of the table, if my math is correct. But I did graduate as an engineer from India, so my math is quite questionable.
Oh boy. um, I do think that Chennai won their last game, right? Yeah, Chennai did win their last game. So they'll be 1 point within Chennai since the last time around they did not win the game that would have put them through. But it will be very close, and they definitely should be able to take over Bengaluru, who momentarily took over them yesterday. But hold on, Salah for Pele, a lot more pace, maybe going for that ruthless double blow, finishing it off before they even get to wonder if it is finished or not. But right now, Ronaldo with the ball trying to set up some sort of hope for Hyderabad. This finesse is just
Yeah,
straight into the hands of
no
Anderson.
lucky deflection from the save this time for Hyderabad FC. I think that
Oh,
happens once in a while. We see Salah sprinting, busting a gut to get there. Not quite working out at that time. I don't think we'll see a particularly heavy press from FC Goa now. They'll be happy to just sit back and soak up the pressure. Let Hyderabad FC pass that ball around in places that it
oh,
doesn't hurt him, but it could hurt them right here and just slightly overhit. I think just maybe 2 feet less of distance of that ball, and that would have been a certain goal for Pele. And they're repeatedly going for that ball over to Salah. I think maybe it's something they've worked on in practice, saying that's the best way to sort of get up the field and keep the ball there. And we may see some more shots coming in from distance from Hyderabad FC now as things get a bit more desperate. We have already seen one from Pele over there. Wonder if we'll see one from Zidane, who's doing a good job of holding that up. Will we see a shot here? Not quite.
yeah.
Being patient, but look at just how organized that defense is.
Oh
There you
boy.
go again. Just picks it up, and now it's going to be a 2v2. And if we can find Gullit, no, that's not a foul.
Oh
Okay,
yeah.
interesting. Very lenient referee, you have to say today. As V Sharma steams in to try and win that
Oh,
ball,
Eusebio.
maybe didn't need to, and it's
No, the
Eusebio,
touch.
and again a bit of a questionable back pass over there, but no harm done. And now taking his time, wasting as much time as he's allowed to, again going for that long ball, and this time it's worked out perfectly. Just play the through ball in,
What?
and I think he's overplayed
Oh,
that. I think he might be offside. He is, and yeah, a bit of a smile over there. I think Afnan wanted that ball played much earlier. V Sharma, I think maybe just trying to because as he kept advancing with the ball, more and more options opened up,
yeah.
and just made that decision more and more tricky. For now, will he go for a chip? I wonder. He's got the keeper. Oh,
Oh,
that looked like a simple tap in over there, but well defended. And now, as we enter stoppage time, I think. Oh, that's a
oh.
great ball. He'll probably get one goal back from this, but
Ah,
unfortunately, I don't think there's going to be enough time for Hyderabad FC to grab that second one, which would have salvaged them a point.
yeah.
Little too late, and I think a little indulgent and wasteful by FC Goa at the other end as well. They could have easily had 2 goals right now, but well, that's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. Eventually, it doesn't matter. They've got the goal. It's been in what has been a very, very, very close encounter. We will see the referee blow the whistle immediately, and yet another win right at the end. Well, not
Oh
right at
boy.
the end, but the scoreline makes it look a lot closer than this game was. It is, of course, 2-1 in the end, and Afnan and V Sharma get the win.
Oh, there's the
And
hairband.
yeah, there you go. Hairband is back, so clearly didn't leave it lying around anywhere. It has been their good luck charm. I think the first game they didn't have it, but actually they did win that first game as well. And yeah, it'll be interesting to have a look at the match stats and also the leaderboard when we have it. But another good game for FC Goa, and another win for them as the machinery keeps marching on. FC Goa, of course, in the Hero ISL, unfortunately languishing right at the bottom, but in the eISL, having a pretty good season.
Yeah, the turn of the table definitely suiting them here in the eISL. Very narrow wins, but hey, wins are the most important part of that sentence. The 3 points you get along with them, and FC Goa consistently playing their way and making sure they get the wins. Like these simple things, you see Eusebio running off the defender, that basic communication, and it was more or less the same interaction with Afnan finding that nifty pass in that final third to set up. V. Sharma finding that nifty pass to set up Afnan both times around, and you can see it wasn't like the chances were completely dry for Hyderabad FC. Yes, like Goa did control most of the ball, but there were some really clear-cut chances that I feel like they are going to rue watching this game again as Hyderabad FC.
Yeah, absolutely. And eventually it was about who was clinical with their chances, right? I mean, yes, there was a lot of profligacy from FC Goa towards the end when the goals didn't really matter, but until that point they got the 2 goals that they needed, and that's eventually what matters, the 3 points that they needed.
Yeah, like if that opportunity right there, a very clear example. Certain small decisions, a touch gone wrong, a pass gone wrong, and that I feel like is what decided this game at the end. They get that one consolation goal, but that's all it's going to be, just consolation. You can see even EXG wise the game very much expecting this to be an even affair.
Yeah, and they will be kicking themselves, particularly about that one which Van der Sar managed to save.
Yeah.
If that had gone in at 1-1, it's a completely different game. And you do see there were more tackles made, more tackles won by Hyderabad. So defensively they were good, but it was just those 1 or 2 key moments. I mean, basically it's 3 shots taken and 2 goals scored for FC Goa. So it was about that shooting accuracy, about being clinical, about how they took their chances, that has eventually got them the win in this co-op game.
I also noticed that the shot accuracy was 67%, which means out of those 3 shots, they only landed 2 on target and they scored both of them. So,
yeah,
absolutely phenomenally clinical here, FC Goa, and not surprising at all. Once again, a dicey affair coming into co-op, but that's where everything stabilizes for FC Goa. They're able to secure the win, a close one, no doubt, but 3 points, that's in their bag.
Yep, and a good season for them so far. Definitely on just the one loss really that they've had to contend with, and they have, I believe, played a couple of big guns as well. We have seen them play Kerala Blasters. We have seen them play Bengaluru as well, if I'm not wrong. And I think, of course, the bigger test is when they go up against Chennai and FC. So yeah, it's going to be a very interesting season, and for FC Goa, great stuff. But for Hyderabad FC, again, they played 4 games, they managed to lose 3 out of them now, so bit of work to do, particularly in the co-op department. Although the co-op was not bad today, but I think in the finishing and the goal scoring department, we do know that they're very good defenders, but in terms of attacking, maybe a little bit to be desired over there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like that's where maybe some teams that are not necessarily able to find success with, say, the meta way or the more obvious way can start maybe experimenting. Like, I'm excited to see, for example, SC East Bengal, how they come out, because they were the team that shocked us from the start. But for now, let's go over and find out who the hero of the match will be. I think this one fairly obvious, but it's actually
Afnan. It is actually Afnan, yeah, who got his scored both the goals in the co-op game, of course, the clutch game where it really mattered. Working well. I mean, eventually V Sharma creating the chances, but hey, you got to be in that position and take the shot and finish it off. And that is Afnan. Unfortunately, not winning his individual game, but getting the 2 goals that actually mattered to get the 3 points.
Yeah, exactly, and able to do it very well with the help of V Sharma, of course. But I think it's especially important once again to point out that both of these lads 18 years old, right? So to be able to cope with the pressure of losing the game after a close game too with your teammate, and then come out just completely mentally reset, I don't think we've seen that level of mental strength from even, say, the slightly more senior players.
Yeah, I mean, we have seen that to an extent from Chennai and FC as well. They've like Naveen and Saransh have been good, but again, these guys slightly more senior. You are correct. And FC Goa, unfortunately, my math was incorrect. They are still off the lead by just the 1 point, having played the same number of games as Chennai and FC. Jamshedpur, of course, will be looking to join that party in the next game along with Northeast United FC. Also, look out for that surprise package in ninth place because SC East Bengal looked phenomenal in the one game that they have played, winning all three of their games with a goal difference of +7. So, and I mean, there are like the teams in second, third, fourth, fifth place don't have such a good goal difference. So, looking pretty good for them.
Yep, and now
And I do believe the voice, sorry to cut you off, but the same voice in your head has also come to my head and told me that we have V Sharma waiting to talk to us. And yeah, hey V Sharma, it's been a familiar story. We end up talking to you after almost every FC Goa game. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. It was a great victory for us and important 3 points for us. And I just want to say thank you, Vanda sir, for saving us this time again.
Oh man,
Vanda
yeah,
sir has been he's been
it's
phenomenal for us, and let's see if he copes up with us in the season.
I mean, you guys have only lost one match so far, so far so good, right? But I have to ask you about that actually. Like, given the way the even your own individual match went, and every single time you guys have looked amazing going into the co-op. So, what's your like as a team the mentality going into a co-op when it's 1-1? Do you just think of it one game, one win, and we got it, or is the pressure there?
Of course, the pressure is there, but our co-op is really good, I feel, and Afnan and I are very good, binding well, I will say, in co-op, and he, he comes in those chances where he finishes those goals. So I'm pretty sure our co-op is great. Our original plan was to finish it in solo games, but I'm looking forward to co-op games.
And also, the one question is that so in all the games we've seen, usually it's been Afnan going up in the first game and you taking the second one. Is that a strategy call that you all have taken to be like, okay, we're gonna give Afnan like the sort of the less pressure game, and you come in and sort of clutch it and take it to game three if it doesn't work out?
Yes, it's kind of a strategy. Afnan is himself has said he wants to play the first game, and he feels confident while playing the first game rather than the second game. And of course, me playing the second game, I feel I can handle the pressure of the second game. So yeah, that's why I go into the second game.
Well, it was lovely to speak to you, V Sharma, and we'll be looking forward to such more intense matches and hopefully more amazing saves from Vandasar himself. But thank you and congratulations for the victory.
Thank you, thank you.
Oh, the part where he said Afnan himself was wanting to go first, I really like that because it shows an initiative. But hey, that was the end of match 1 between Hyderabad FC and FC Goa. And of course, a big thank you to the eISL, powered by Coca-Cola, with our Hero as our associate sponsor, Nordwind Gaming as our esports partner, and PlayStation as our platform partner, for even giving us this opportunity to witness these players. But like I said, that was the end of this match, and we're gonna go take a small break, let you grab your snacks, and be back